Yep, I'm on. I'm actually onto a fish right now on the primitive raft. Yes! Oh, I got it. Oh, what a way to start the day. That's actually awesome. Now this is the reason why I brought the net down here. But take a look at that. That's a pretty nice one. Now we're not going to eat this catfish, but what I'm going to try to do today is hopefully try catch one off my primitive raft. You saw in last week's video, I made a survival raft, went out on it. It took a couple of hours to make. And I said at the end of that video, if you guys want to see me come back out here and try catch a fish off it, I'll do it tomorrow. So the feedback I got from that video was absolutely crazy. Now I got this little fella this morning. We're not going to eat him, so we'll let him go in a minute. But take a look at that. What a start to the day. I reckon I'll keep heading up the creek and we'll go make this primitive raft. See you later, big fella. So I was just walking up the creek and an idea popped into my head. I was thinking maybe I'd be able to catch a catfish with my bare hands. Now, you've seen me do it when I was a lot younger. When I was a lot younger in this creek system, I used to come up here all the time, try get one. I used to be inspired by Turtle Man to try actually catch these catfish with my hands. And the technique that we use is called noodling. You shove your hand up under a rock ledge, underwater, up under a bank or whatever, and sometimes these catfish will get aggressive enough and territorial enough that they'll bite onto your finger, and that way you can get them. Now, I don't have a good success rate at all. Maybe 1 in every 40 tries I do it, but I'm gonna test a couple banks, try to do it, and hopefully we get one. It's pretty deep up there. I'm gonna need to get even further. Right up in there. Oh, yep, yep. It got off. Got it. So it actually bit onto my finger and then I dropped it right there. But luckily, I got it back. Take a look at that. That right there is an eeltail catfish. Another one. It's just been a whole catfish day today. So as I said, this technique doesn't work too much, but that's how you do it. You put your hand right up under the bank, wait for them to bite on. I'm not going to keep them too much longer. Ladies, buddy, that's actually awesome. I love it when this technique works. So if you have a creek system, I would definitely recommend being careful because there can be anything up under that bank. But yeah, all right, see you, buddy. Ready to go? Yeah, that's awesome. So we've caught catfish in the net so far, caught them with my hands. Now I reckon what we're gonna do is I'm gonna head further up the creek and try catch one off that primitive raft that I made in last week's episode. See those pieces of wood down there? That's my survival raft. Now you're probably thinking that doesn't look like a survival raft, and that's because I ended up taking the rope off of it last week. And the reason behind that is because you saw it was raining in that episode. I didn't want it to start pouring down, this creek to come up, and then for my raft to be washed all the way down, and for me to be putting rope into the ecosystem. So I decided to take it off. Right next to my raft, there's a catfish nest right there with a big catfish on it. And this is the pool that I'm gonna be fishing in off the raft. So it's good to see that there's fish in there. I'm gonna have to scare the catfish off its nest in order to get all these pieces of wood and tie them together, but I reckon it'll come back on and hopefully I'll be able to catch a fish off it. So I've just tied the frame together. You can see it's all connected right there. Now I'm just gonna put the sticks underneath and hope that it floats. So before we try catch a fish off it, I need to see if it floats first. I made a bit of a different design. You can see it right there, it's pretty good. It's got a few more sticks and everything. It's got an underlayer too, just these pieces under here, just to give it a bit more flotation and keep me up a bit. I don't really care if it keeps me dry, but you know what, we'll get on it. So yeah, it does work. It is keeping me up, which is really good. Now I'm just gonna get my fishing rod, get the bait, and try catch a fish off it. So I'm staying over this side, so it might be a bit unbalanced because I want to keep the GoPro out of the water. It's actually pretty cool, if I'm being honest with you, just floating on this raft, trying to catch a fish on it. It's like back to basics kind of thing. I just actually love this kind of stuff. Yep, I'm on. Yes. Let's go. I'm actually onto a fish right now on the primitive raft. Oh, it's the catfish. Take a look at that. I'm hooked up right now on the primitive raft. That's so good. I've only been filming literally nearly 9 minutes and I've already hooked a catfish on the raft. I just got to land it. Oh, tighten up the drag a bit. Wow, that is absolutely awesome. Take a look at it. Oh! Hold up, I'll put this in my mouth. Take a look at that. Right there. Oh! I got a catfish. Oh! Oh, it's under my arm. Under my arm. No. Don't go under there. Come back. Come back. Oh, get it out of there, buddy. No, come out this way. Got it. Yes. I just caught that on the raft. Take a look at that. That's a big catfish as well. No way that was that easy. I literally was filming for 9 minutes and the catfish took the bait. And take a look at that. Wow, that is a good sized catfish. All right, I'm gonna paddle over to shore. This is actually crazy. I didn't know this is actually gonna work. In the one pool, I couldn't move the raft to any other pools because it's just too heavy. It can't get down any rapids. So I was like, surely I'll be able to catch one in here. And take a look at that on the primitive raft. That's absolutely awesome. All right, let's get to shore. That's actually insane. I didn't think that it was gonna work that quickly, if not work at all. Like, I'm so surprised that in this one pool that I picked, you see how much noise I was making the whole time setting up this raft. I was thinking maybe all the catfish would have been scared away and I wouldn't have been able to get any. But I set the raft up, I spotted a catfish, and take a look. I cast my rod out and look what we caught right there. That's absolutely awesome. Now, all you guys have been commenting on my videos, Miller, I missed the catch and cooks. So that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. So as you saw, I caught this catfish on just a little crayfish. Now these guys are opportunistic feeders. They'll feed on crayfish, small fish, and these are very territorial fish. You saw in my last video, if you watched that, with this primitive raft, that I actually filmed them attacking each other on the drone, and I also filmed them attacking each other underwater, which was really cool. Illtail catfish can be very tasty if you cook it right, but it can also taste like a rubber tire if you cook it wrong. So I've cooked a fair few catfish, so I know what to do. I reckon kind of smoking them above the fire gets that real smoky taste inside the flesh. So yeah, I'm gonna stick this one over a fire, find a nice place to make a fire, and yeah, cook up this catfish. Let's go. That's awesome. I can't believe I did that. See that fork right there? That's perfect. And that one right there is also perfect. And then we can use all this stuff to get the fire started. There we go. So got that set up just like that, and then we'll put the catfish on a stick above the fire and it'll just be sitting across there just like that. All right, that's perfect. There we go. Got the fire going, first try, which is really good. As you can see, I've put the catfish on that stick right there. And I reckon I'll just try put it across it now. Yes. Take a look at that. Cooking that catfish right there. We'll turn it on its side, or upside down I should say, so it gets closer to the flames. And hopefully this fire keeps going. Start putting a couple bigger ones on in there. Oh, that's so good. Look at it cooking up nicely. Look at that. Primitive raft in the background right there. Catfish cooking up nicely. Beautiful day out down the creek. What more could you ask for? When I'm saying you've got to be extremely careful, put out your fire. Take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to put out your fire and make sure it's all gone, because you don't want these fires destroying all the wildlife. I'd hate it if there was a fire here right now. So I'm gonna make sure that this fire is put out properly, and so that it pretty much looks like there was never a fire here to begin with. But take a look at that. So the catfish has been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm literally just gonna cook it for about 15 or 20 just to make sure it's perfect. This has been a really good day so far, catching that catfish in the morning in the net, and then all the way to making this primitive raft for the second time, and then catching a fish off it. Whoa, that is hot. But take a look at that. Now we're cooking it up. What a day. This is why I love filming videos. So it's been about 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure this catfish is actually ready. It's so good to see that the fire is still going strong. And yeah, that's cash. I'll take it off, put it down over here. Now, while I'm letting that cool off, I'll go put out the fire. Now, I brought down a bottle of water just so I could refill it up at the creek and put out this fire. So just like, oh, take a look at that. Fill it back up and do the same again. So I just spent the last 20 minutes putting out the fire, buried it, poured water on top of it. No way that's catching alight again, and that's what we want. So now I'm gonna eat the catfish. What a surprise, my GoPro's running out of battery again. I did end up finding the new batteries, but it's just been a big day today. There's the catfish down here, so let's get into it. I think I might eat it while sitting on the raft, because it's been a big day around the raft. All right, smoked catfish. Let's give it a try. I've got my knife, wash that off. Now, as you can see, the skin literally just peels off like that. That's how you know it's cooked to perfection. See it under the skin right there? Cut into that flesh, which is also cooked perfectly, may I add. Look at that slicing off right there. Bit of catfish right there, smoked. Smells pretty good. Yeah, let's give it a go. That's actually so good. That tastes like flathead. What? I definitely didn't have high expectations for a catfish, but I'm telling you, if you cook it like smoked or whatever, it actually tastes so good. Yeah, it's not bad at all. This is the first thing I've eaten today as well, so it's pretty cool that I did this whole thing, caught my own food, built the whole raft, even caught a catfish in the net earlier. So since my GoPro is about to run out of battery, I won't be able to eat it all on camera, and I won't be able to do anything else today, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. These are the kind of videos that I really like filming, just coming out here by myself, having a mission, having a goal set, and when it all pays off just like today did, it's actually so cool. It makes the coolest video, and thank you guys for watching up until this point in the video. Really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you like all this stuff, go follow me on Instagram at Miller Wilson. Post a heap of different stuff over there. Send me a message. I'll try to reply to as many people as I can. But yeah, this is actually really good. If you ever go out and try catch catfish, I definitely recommend trying this technique. Set up a fire, put the 2 sticks with the forks across it, put a stick through the catfish, and it actually tastes so good. It tastes way better than when you just cook it in the coals or whatever. But yeah, take a look at that. Whole little tail catfish. I'll try to eat as much of this catfish as I can. We won't waste anything. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next adventure. Oh wow, look at this right here. So see this tree right here? That is actually a source of bush tucker here in Australia. It's called the Nougat tree. And if I can find any, there should be some up in there. Oh yeah, take a look at that. A Nougat, that's actually really good. That'll keep me going, give me a bit more energy while I'm out here in the wild. And I'll tell you what it tastes like. Just like chicken.